Hello, 7th graders. Welcome back. This is lesson 1.4 of your video lessons. Today we'll be learning multiplying integers. Before we start, if you are a student who still has a little trouble with their multiplication facts, why don't you take a moment and print up a multiplication chart and use that to help you with the actual solution. Today, just like lesson 1.2 when we're doing adding integers, I'm just focusing on whether or not the answer is negative or positive or zero, and then we'll work on finding the actual answer. So let's move on to our first slide. And just real simple here, we want to figure out how to find 3 times 2 using addition. So 3 times 2 means 2 added 3 times. So 3 groups of 2. So from 0, 1 group of 2, 2 groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, that gives us 6. So that means we can write 3 times 2 as 2 plus 2 plus 2. Well, what does that have to do with integers? Let's take a look. Here's the next slide. Example number 2, we are going to multiply integers with different signs. So one number is positive, one number is negative, different. So what does that mean? It means we are going to, 3 times 2 in addition means to add 3 groups of negative 2. So if I'm at 0, group 1, group 2, group 3. Repeated addition just simply means negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2 3 times, which gives us negative 6. So my signs are different. What kind of answer am I getting? A negative solution. So please write that in your notebook. When my 2 integers have different signs, my answer is negative. Let's take a look. We're just discovering a pattern. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. So the pattern is decreasing by 2 in each row. So 0 times 2 is 0. So if I continue this pattern, negative 1 times 2 would have to be negative 2. Okay? Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. So negative 3 times 2, negative 6. Take a look at the signs. Are my signs the same or are they different? When your signs are different, your answer is negative. Let's take a look at example number 4. We're multiplying integers with the same sign. Okay? So let's start with what we know right now. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Signs are opposite. Again, signs are opposite. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And here we have negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Notice the signs are different, so your answer is negative. Negative 3 times 0 is 0. Remember, anything times 0 is always 0. So our pattern, we're technically going up the number line. So we're adding 3 because the numbers are coming up towards 0 and getting positive. So plus 3 along the way, continuing this pattern. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Students always argue about this. When the 2 signs are the same, the answer is positive. So that means negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Okay, so a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, so our final solution here would be 6. I'd like for you to write these examples down in your notebook. Please make sure this following chart is in your notebook. It will be part of your grade. There are 3 things that's expected: the problem, the type of product. You're going to tell me if it's integers with the same or different sign, and if the result is going to be positive or negative. Okay, so starting with number 6, integers with different signs, so that means my answer is negative. 7, different, answer negative. Number 8, my signs are the same, so my solution is positive. Number 9, my signs are the same, my solution is positive. 10, my signs are different, so my answer is negative. 11, my signs are different, my answer is negative. And number 12, my signs are the same, my answer is positive. Keep in mind, you may want to write a little note for yourself. Multiplication rules only work for 2 integers at a time. So, for example, if we were multiplying 3 numbers, well, we have to multiply 2 numbers at a time. I'll show you how to do that in class for our next lesson. All right, some key ideas. Multiplying integers with the same sign. Make sure you write this down. The product of 2 integers with the same sign is always positive. What does product mean? Hopefully you can answer by saying it's the answer to a multiplication problem. So 2 examples. Positive 2 times a positive 3 gives me a positive 6. And a negative times a negative still results a positive. Multiplying integers with different signs. The product of 2 integers with different signs is negative. Please be sure you write this down. And if you take a look, I have a positive times a negative, my answer is negative. Or a negative times a positive, my answer is still negative. Well, congratulations. This is the end of video lesson 1.4. That was short and sweet. Please be sure you take your video assessment, including your name and period number. See you later.